And I think Philip's got a couple of things, and I think that's how
We're now recording.
we are now back in the open session. Madam Clerk, will you provide the motion to certify, please?
Surely, we need a motion to certify that to the best of each member's knowledge, only public business matters lawfully exempted from open meeting requirements and only such public business matters as were identified in the motion by which the closed meeting was convened were heard, discussed, or considered in the meeting.
Is there a motion?
So moved.
Mr. Gormas moves, and
I second.
Mr. Miller will second. I ask for certification roll call, beginning with Mr. Miller.
Certify.
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 This motion carries 4-0, and we are now back in open session. And Mr. Manager, you have a couple items you'd like to report?
Probably the one that I need to ask you or inform you about. English Construction is the contractor that's working on the bridge at the reservoir. They're not under contract with us, they're not doing any work for us. When VDOT approached us about the project, 3 years ago, we let them know it was pretty important because our water intake is at the bridge. I mean, the intake and the pump are attached to the bridge. And we were pretty concerned about somebody dumping fuel or grease or oils into the water, because it's not like you have a day's notice that you can get baffles in. I mean, when it hits the water, if it gets past whatever protections are there, it's going in your system, okay? Got a call from English Construction, the other day, wanted to talk about it, and I told them I was disinclined to agree to allow them to put a barge in the reservoir with a crane on it. They are entitled by their agreement with VDOT to put a barge in the reservoir, but not a crane. And why that is? Because of our protestations early on that we didn't want anything right there at the water intake. Apparently, there's some issue that English, not so much VDOT, that VDOT never contacted me. English feels like the project will go much faster and be more efficient if the town would be amenable to them putting a crane on said barge in the reservoir. I think there's a lot of moving parts there. Ran it by our insurance folks the other day, and I got a pretty ugly look on her, Nora Pierre's face when discussing it. It's really a VDOT decision. We don't own the reservoir, and I don't think we have veto power. I think it's really up to VDOT, because that property does not belong to the town. We don't own the dam, and we don't own the land under the reservoir. We own rights to the water. That's all we've got. But because of the nature of what it is your water intake, I'm just inclined to say no.
What's the option?
They can repair it as they did it, which is from the bridge deck.
We have some aerators that are in that area and pumps. We do own that, right?
Guys, you put that reservoir or that barge in there, it could damage that. I mean, it's not the end of the world, because it's really piping more than anything. The guts and the machinery is in the hut sitting up on the, just before you get to the bridge. I just think it's just provocative, and they bid a project a certain way, then I would just say let them do things a certain way. And English is a monster. They're a big company. I mean, they're big. But I just don't have a good feel for the presentation, the way it was presented. I don't have a good feel for, boy, that's water. Why would we take an additional risk so that they could save some time? And it's a VDOT project, and I don't think you guys, my recommendation to you is, certainly I just don't think it's a good idea.
And aeration, I mean, if they hit, even if the equipment is in the building, the piping's out there. And if they busted the piping, the aeration everywhere is not gonna work as well as it was.
And I asked them, how do you lash a barge to a bridge? I don't know. Apparently you put stanchions down of some sort, and, we won't hit it, we won't hit it. I just think it'd be better. Now, they're still allowed to put a barge there. Their contract does permit them to put a barge, but no crane, and nothing more than 25 gallons of fuel. And I dare say a crane can hold more than 25 gallons of fuel, so I would just say, if pressed, the answer's no. I mean, VDOT can still decide to do it. Cause the contract is written by VDOT, under VDOT standards. We just made some pretty significant commentary when the project got started, literally it was 2 or 3 years ago.
So they're going to put a barge in there.
They are entitled to put a barge. They did not say they specifically were.
And-
Or there's a need for a barge without a crane being used.
And so the question is, how do we feel about a crane being on the barge?
The crane on the barge is the issue, and the exceedance of 25 gallons of fuel on that barge at any one time.
Well, they should be able to take precautions to capture any leakage.
They should be able to put baffle after baffle and,
You know, I mean, an enclosure, you know, like for tanks, you have to have the capability to capture anything that leaked out of the tank without it spreading.
I mean, VDOT's still gotta approve it all. It's not an approval by the town. I think VDOT just wants mine agreement that it's okay. Now, the one thing that I did tell, Whitehurst that I don't think is negotiable is in the event it was approved or agreed upon or whatever, we didn't want to be working under VDOT's bond. I think Mr. Higginbotham has pressed the matter, oh, don't worry about it, I've got a bond with we don't want VDOT to be the arbiter of what our damages are, if there's an issue. I think it needs to be a separate performance and payment, or surety bond, assuring that the town, if suffered loss, we gotta dump our entire system, we've gotta replace filters, any of those kind of things come about, then we wanna be able to be the arbiter of what the losses are. I don't think we wanna wait on VDOT to determine whether or not the town of Blackstone is entitled to anything, so.
Was VDOT in that meeting with English? Okay.
Well, the aeration, I mean, this barge is gonna be pretty deep in the water, I would think.
I don't know
It's not that
depth
deep
of
out
the
there.
hull of the barge, but I know those stanchions are gonna go down into
Yeah,
the bottom.
well.
The whole
You're-
thing.
I just wonder if there's some type of inspection of the aeration system when it's all said and done to confirm that no damage was done.
They may have to put a diver in there to tell us.
You know what I mean? I mean, that would,
I might find Jimmy Hoffa.
How deep is the reservoir?
I think right there at the dam, it's appreciably deep, because if you look at that gorge kind of behind it, and you look at the water levels of that river, I'd say it's a good 70, 80 foot of depth difference. Now, that's a pretty unscientific way to look at it, but if you look where you can fish down there at the bottom of the dam, and you go back up to the water level, I'd say it's 70, 75 feet. It's kind of that's why they picked it for a dam, it's kind of a gorge. You can't say cliffs, but it's pretty.
So
Members-
VDOT is waiting for us to give them an answer.
Yeah, I was told him I'd give him a call by the end of next week, and, this was gonna be the one opportunity I was gonna have to talk to you guys about it between now and then. I just don't feel, good about it.
What's your pleasure,
You want a
counsel?
letter from the mayor, or?
No, I just wanna get consensus
Yeah.
with you guys, because I think they're gonna put a hard press on you guys here regardless of what I tell them. Seems to me that he's already kind of put a press on the mayor.
I think whatever we do, we should put our objections in writing, especially the bond issue.
I motion that we deny,
well,
English contractors to do that.
I have discussion. I have a motion to deny the
I second.
request.
I
Mi-
second.
Mr. Miller seconds that.
Substitute motion.
Okay,
A motion that we do deny it, but we have the mayor write them a letter with our objections about not only the, manager's concerns, but the bonding concerns as well.
can we just include that in the original motion?
Right.
I'll be delighted to take care of that. Any discussion, Mr. Gormas?
I just feel that if the barge is going out there anyway,
And I don't know if it is. They haven't said they're definitively putting a barge out there. They may, and they're entitled to, but I don't know if they're going to.
that a crane on the barge with the proper precautions to capture any leakage of fuel or hydraulic fluid that would expedite the work, which is really,
He said it'll advance the speed of work up by about 3 or 4 months, I think, is what they told me.
I mean, if they take precautions to prevent it from becoming an issue with our water, we're covered. I mean, if a barge is going out there anyway, you mean, hell, excuse me, you're gonna have that equipment out there anyway. If you got a crane on it and they do something to capture any leakage that does happen, then you're mitigating any chance of, having an issue with your water, that's the only thing about it.
Why didn't they put it in
I
their
know.
contract then? That they would put all those things in there?
Because when they first approached us, they gave us 3 options, so you know. They gave us 3 options for fixing the bridge. Fix it in replace, build a bridge across the reservoir, go out on the water side, or build a bridge on the downstream side. Our preference, English's preferences, after discussing with them, was to build a bridge on the downstream side, so you don't have to worry about spills, you don't have to worry about any of that stuff, right? And then dismantle the bridge decking that's there. VDOT chose a different option, they chose to replace what was there.
But the engineer, they bid on a job to do it a certain way, and now they wanna do it a different way.
Or, no crane on the barge, and no more than 25 gallons of fuel on that barge at any time. That's how it was bid out, because we were concerned about the water intake.
Right, but that's,
I assume VDOT is concerned with it.
Mr. Gorman, you have anything else?
No, I mean, I believe if they can adjust for the risk, that it would be a worthwhile.
Okay. You have any discussion? All right, Ms. Williams has moved and Mr. Miller has properly second to deny this request, accompanied by a letter from the mayor with the town's opinions. I'll ask for a voice vote. All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Nay.
That motion carries 3-1.
So
But,
you guys
but,
know
ho. But now if we find out that they are gonna put this thing out there, it's really not nothing we can do
VDOT,
anyway.
I mean, I think it's still a
So that's what I'm saying,
But VDOT's gonna be.
because they're gonna, VDOT's gonna do what they wanna do anyway. So we
VDOT
just
obviously
wasting our
does
time.
Because it's a water intake, so they wanted maybe some cover and make sure that we didn't come in there and find some daggone crane one day, what the heck is this thing? They wanted to run it by us, and, I just think there's risk that really,
I don't think
I can't.
putting the whole town's water at risk over a 3-month,
I mean, if it was downstream.
Faster,
treatment
yeah.
plant, man, go for it.
yeah.
Man, that is our single point source of water. And it was spec'd out and bid out in a certain way. English is big, they know what they're doing, they've done this 1,000 times probably, and the chances of the odds of this going south is probably pretty minuscule, probably. But you're accepting the risk. So I approve it.
All right.
So if something does go south, you got it.
You got anything else tonight?
I can't think of anything, but you said there were a couple things, do you know something else?
Yeah, I would like to, I'd like to speak to council about the House bill that council authorized me. I don't remember the bill number.
I think it's Senate 906.
Yes, I think you're right. It's House Bill 906.
906.
And it has passed the House. And young lady, Molly Waller, an aide for Senator Mulchi, called me today and explained to me that it had passed.
The Senate is what?
No, and
Just
it's
passed.
gonna go before the Senate, and our senator is going to not support the bill,
Okay.
okay? So, that's what I have on that.
That's the mandated 60 days before cutoff.
Did it
Well,
pass?
it's 90 days.
Do we know if it passed?
Oh, it did, they reduced it tonight to 60?
I think they've reduced it to
Okay,
60 from
but
the
it has
90.
passed the House.
Was it along party lines, or was it, do you know if
That's
it was
what that,
overwhelming?
I looked at it and I guessed, I can't give you a definitive
It was
answer.
introduced by LaShreese Aird,
Out of Petersburg.
and I think she's a Democrat.
Yes, she is a
I think
Democrat.
she's a Democrat, and I think she's in the House, I don't think she's in the Senate side.
She's in
is
the
in that
House.
House, she is
So
a
she
member
introduced
delegate.
it on the House side, so I'm.
I was just wondering if it passed, if it was,
It appeared that way, I mean, but I don't know all those names, but the names that I did know, it looked like it was a party line.
We've tried
And
to
I'm
get
gonna
a
tell you
hold
something
of
else, when
Aird.
it gets into the Senate's gonna vote too, to do it.
Pardon?
When it gets to the Senate's probably gonna vote to do it.
Well, if they do it, guys, it does affect what we're talking about with this number of extensions and payment plans and all that. You gotta, that's why last time we met, it was important not to vote on anything until we see what happens with this, cause this could make it really tough.
Well,
you think the governor will sign
it's
it?
already at least 90 days, isn't it? I mean, when you put together the extensions and the payment plans on,
Oh, man.
you talked to last time about December usage being paid in April.
January, January
Oh.
is.
Be March one, it's 2 months.
So this,
No. If you use utilities in December,
Right.
right? We read your meter on about the second, third of the month following.
That's
January.
January.
The bill doesn't go out until the 30th of that month.
January 30th.
And then you've got 45 days after that before you get cut off. This would extend it at least, worst case scenario, another 15 days before we get cut off.
That puts it March 15th, yeah. March
So is
16th.
that every bill or is it just
But
one
that's-
bill a
That's
year?
before extensions.
And for every.
That's what I'm saying.
This is how we
It's for
operate.
every bill,
Yeah.
not just for
Yeah.
one particular
No,
bill.
electric. No, this is specific to electric. This isn't.
Right, but I'm
management.
saying, but if you use this, you get 90 days, can you use it again that year? You can use it
Yeah,
every
unlimited,
month.
it's unlimited.
It's unlimited, 12 times a year.
I feel like that's really gonna hurt customers.
Oh, yeah, people get so far behind the
You think the governor will sign that?
scratching their head, huh?
You think Governor Youngkin will sign
Well,
that?
Yeah.
if it's a Democrat
Yes.
sponsored bill, he may not, I don't know, but, I don't have a good feel for Youngkin, I mean,
I'm telling you, the reason why that lady did that, and she came to one of our meetings, and what happened was there was about 45 or 50 people over there by Warner Hill, and they were all having these problems, and they were running to her talking about they couldn't afford the light bill and stuff. So she came up with this bill. I knew about the bill a long time ago, but I didn't think it even make it past the house, but it did.
Conservative, yeah, I mean,
Well, General Assembly doesn't have it a couple more weeks, so we'll know.
but the Senate is dominated.
By Democrats.
So, the only.
it'll probably pass the Senate, but I'm not sure if Youngkin will sign it.
Youngkin's gonna sign it.
Huh?
Youngkin's gonna sign it.
All right,
Yeah, I don't know.
we got anything else? Any other business to come before the
What about the
council?
water and crew? Y'all got that
You
straight?
wanna talk about that, or you wanna talk about next
I don't know
meeting?
if we've made a huge amount of progress beyond where we were last Wednesday night. But on Friday, the mayor had to go out of town, so Jake and I spoke with Phil Miskovic, and Jake spoke with Sean
Dates.
Stinson, who's the vice mayor on council. Not sure she's technically taken over the mayor's role or title. March 8th is coming very, very quickly. And we waited 2 weeks. We've waited 2 weeks, more than that now, to receive what the final bill that they will hand the state for 1,000 gallons of water. We, at the Deputy Secretary of Finance's request, asked if we could meet with them on Friday, and I think it was about 2 o'clock, 2:30. We had a conference call with John Markowitz, who is the Deputy Secretary of Finance, State of Virginia, and we asked him, "Crew hasn't given us a number. Will you consider an R5 response without?" He said, "No, that's what this is all about. This is what we're trying to get to. Is this a good deal, bad deal? How much are you going to charge?" And the town manager's response said it'll be a figure satisfactory to the state, isn't going to cut it. So until we get that number, we're dead in the water still. And we still don't have that number. And I don't know, it seems to me to be a kind of a crisis for everybody, but
Is the number not $11? I thought it was $11.
$11 is only the number, that's the benchmark, because it's only the number that Prince Edward County has put into a now expired MOU with the state that they would sell the water to. It's just a benchmark. I don't know if that's the final figure. I don't know what Prince Edward needs to mark it up, but we've given them everything. We've given it to them months ago. We met again in January, and
But Crew hasn't said that their rate is $11. They haven't. That's not,
acceptable to the state of Virginia.
Well, they meet tonight, their regularly scheduled
Yeah,
meetings
hopefully they'll
tonight,
work that
so.
out.
Maybe they'll give us a
hopefully
number.
we'll hear something. Anything else?
But that's where we're at. We did meet with on a phone conference. Jake and I at 2:30 on Friday with John Markowitz, who's been kind of involved throughout the process. And I am done.
Anything else, members of council, anything else? All right, I haven't done this in a while, but we're gonna adjourn this meeting at 8:18.